Louis here. I'm going to demonstrate how to make film for your 127 cameras. This is a Kodak Starflex from 1957. It's pretty cool. And here's a 1961 Starmite, also a 127. And then I've got another favorite camera that I like to use, and this is the Pocket Kodak. It uses 127 film also. Well, I found that 127 film is very expensive, and figured out that you can make a slitter, which I did, which will cut the 120 film. And it's actually a very dangerous tool, so unless you're a very careful person that knows how to handle sharp objects and tools as such, I would not recommend using one of these, but this is how I do it. Right, Sawyer? And it's just made out of cedar, some scrap wood that I had, and some felt. And then there's a little razor blade in there placed strategically to slice 120 film into 127 film, and the scrap I use for reloading into a 110 cartridge. Works out really good. The scrap is the perfect size for that reload, and I like shooting it in the Raleigh 110A. Takes great pictures. I find that the quality from the Trimax is better than anything else I've ever used. So it's a real economic way to shoot 127 cameras and 110. What I do is in the dark, you unravel, and you have to be real patient to do this. You have to unravel the film from the, and this is spent film that I kept for this purpose, to experiment. So in the dark, you unravel the 110, the 120 film. Once it's unraveled, then you, in the dark, everything is done in the dark here. I like to carefully place one end through the slitter, and then close the lid that I made. See the lid, and then I push down.
Are you talking to me?
I'm making a video, Stella. And then I pull.
Are you talking to me though?
Sure. I pull the film through straight through, just like that. And you can do this without actually looking. So once you've got that through there, you carefully,
can go through it?
I carefully roll the 127 up And then once you get to the end, you can carefully just rip the end off like that, because the end's going to get clipped off. And this is all done in the dark. You carefully clip the end about, what is that, an inch?
Yeah.
So you clip about an inch off, and then in the dark,
You just
the 127 backing that I saved,
you
I
just
I put the empty spool on the end where the last numbers are. There's number 12 and number 8.
when you done doing that.
And then in the dark, I make a crease on the backing so that I could feel where the film will start on the reload. And then I just, by feel, I roll the film with the emulsion side facing me to the outside.
Just like that.
Just
what
like this.
Daddy is doing.
Just like this. And then you just have to be patient.
Right, Daddy?
Once you've got this,
You just keep rolling it until it's done, Daddy.
you keep rolling it till it's done, and you just have to be patient. Like I said before 1,000 times. And then just keep going, and then
it's done.
it's done. You have that rolled on there, and then
It's okay.
you set this aside.
Like that.
In the dark also, you have the 16 millimeter film.
You cut.
And what I do is I also cut an end off, the one that I ripped
And you roll
off.
it, Daddy.
Yep, you roll it onto the backing of the 110 cartridge. So you just cut about an inch off also.
And that's it.
And then
Then you're gonna put
when I'm reloading the 110 cartridge,
and you're putting it on there.
I also keep the camera in the bag in the dark
Then
with this whole operation,
it
so
doesn't get lost.
that way it doesn't get lost. But that way I can avoid taping the cartridge back together, because once I load the 110 cartridge, I can load it into the camera and it'll stay intact and light proof.
It'll attach to it.
And I'll show you how I roll that. You start with the backing at the very end, the opposite of the spool. Make sure that your spool is attached firmly.
Like a show.
Okay, and then emulsion side outwards,
Like a show.
and then
Daddy.
I put the end right where this notch is on the backing.
And it kind of doesn't break.
It won't break, and then I just roll it.
When it's the beginning, you just
I roll my own film,
and you just keep rolling it up.
and I save quite a bit of money doing it like this, because
It's too long.
I buy the Trimax
Sometimes it's too
roll of
long.
120, and with that one roll, the price of the one roll, I get a roll of 127, a full roll of 127, a full roll of 110.
When it's kind of rolling.
And so see, I'm just rolling the film carefully.
Nicely.
Gotta make sure you have clean hands when you're doing this. No peanut butter on your hands.
I don't have no peanut butter, just sparkles.
And
In
some people like to use gloves and all that jazz. I just use my clean fingers, and I've never had a problem. I've been doing this for quite a while now. It's just the way I do it. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna have problems.
when you break it.
So here we got the end all the way to the end of the spool. So now in the dark, I place the rolled up spool and backing into the cartridge.
Then back goes the other side.
And then I carefully pull the film and the backing out. And what I do is I start rolling the take-up spool.
In the front.
I roll up the take-up spool with the film a little bit, and then place it into the
Front.
Cartridge.
It's in the
And then I
front.
snap the cartridge together, and she's good to go, ready to rock. And then this in the dark, I put it into the camera, like I said before, and then there's no need for tape. And then when I'm done taking pictures, I'll take the cartridge out of the camera in the dark, complete darkness. So,
we can see what it
and I develop it, and then it's good to go. Now this spool here, once I'm done, when I'm ready to use it, I unravel it a little bit carefully, and there's a point where the original film was attached. There's a line there, and that's where I will, in the daylight, you can clip it off carefully. It's a little waste of film, but I'm willing to sacrifice that to avoid jam ups. And then I carefully unravel this in subdued lighting, and tape that end to the backing and load into the camera. Well, that's how I do it, and hopefully it helps somebody.